If you've ever felt your anxiety spike, but you're not sure what to do about it, this video is for you. I'm Katie McLaughlin. I'm a licensed therapist who specializes in treating anxiety disorders, and today I'm going to share with you 3 breathwork strategies that are rooted in evidence and designed to calm your nervous system. Most of us often try to think our way out of anxiety, and most of us find that just doesn't work. That's because when anxiety is elevated, your brain literally cannot think its way to feeling calm. What it can do is respond to signals of safety sent from other areas of the body other than the frontal cortex. And that's exactly what these breathwork strategies are designed to do. Most of the time when we experience anxiety, our initial response is to fight it or to get rid of it. My last video actually talked a lot about that. And as you may have learned from that video or from your own experience, resistance makes anxiety worse. So instead of trying to resist anxiety or to get rid of it or to talk our way through it when it's so high that doesn't even work for how our brain is wired, let's work with our body. Let's calm our nervous system by using the breath to send signals of safety to the fear centers in your brain. These strategies are simple and they are highly effective for getting our nervous system back into a place of safety, of feeling calm and feeling regulated. These are great to practice in the moment if you didn't happen to catch that anxiety spiral and now things feel a bit unmanageable. And they're also really beneficial to practice in times when you're not super stressed or anxious. Each one of these breathwork strategies are uniquely designed to work with your nervous system, with how it's naturally wired, so that the parasympathetic nervous system, our calming rest and digest system, becomes activated, and our sympathetic nervous system, where anxiety lives, starts to ease. The first strategy that we're talking about today is called box breathing. Box breathing is a structured breathing pattern that is designed to work with your nervous system, as I said, so that you can move back into a state of calm and relaxation. In box breathing, you're going to breathe in to the count of 4, and then you're going to hold your breath to the count of 4. Then you'll exhale to the count of 4, and again, hold your breath to the count of 4. That is one cycle of box breathing, and you can do this like 5, 10, 15 cycles of breath. Now, of course, if at any point you do find yourself getting lightheaded, go ahead and take a break, do some natural breathing rhythms, and then continue if you want. The magic of box breathing is in the pause. When we hold our breath briefly on either side of that inhale and that exhale, that stimulates our vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your entire body, and it allows for your body to communicate to your brain and vice versa. Holding our breath during box breathing actually sends a signal that we are safe to our brain and to our nervous system so that we can move back into a state of rest and digest. The next strategy we're going to go over today is the elongated exhale. It's hard to really say that there's a structure to this breathing pattern because really all that you're trying to do is make your exhale longer than your inhale. Twice as long is awesome, but really as long as you're intentionally trying to lengthen and elongate the exhale to be slightly longer than the inhale, you're doing just fine here. The reason this strategy can be so effective for calming anxiety, and part of the reason why it's my own personal favorite to use in my daily life, has to do with how your breath changes when you're in a state of anxiety. If you've been around this channel or around my practice for any length of time, then you've probably heard me talk about how anxiety is your nervous system's reaction to a perceived threat. When your body is in that state of protection, your breath pattern naturally speeds up. It's trying to get more oxygen into your system so that it can bring that oxygen to the major muscle groups into your brain so you can think and problem solve and run and fight and do all the things that you need to do to protect yourself. By intentionally slowing down this exhale, slowing down your breath pattern, you are actually sending a signal of safety saying, hey, brain, I know that you thought that we were in a state of protection, but we don't need to be. And that signal allows the body, allows the nervous system to shift into that parasympathetic state. The last breathwork strategy that we're talking about today is the physiological sigh. For the physiological sigh, you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, pause for a moment, and then take another sip of air through your nose if you can. And then you can take a long exhale out through the mouth. Not only does the physiological sigh promote relaxation in general, but it also helps to balance out the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body that get a little out of whack when we're in a state of protection. If you are someone who ever feels dizzy or lightheaded when you're anxious, this one might be a good one to try. All of these breathwork strategies have their own way of sending signals of safety to the parts of the brain that are actually signaling distress to the rest of the body. And our ability to use our breath and use our body to send these signals of safety to our brain in these times of elevated anxiety is so hugely helpful, because in those times of elevated anxiety, our prefrontal cortex is kind of cut off in a way from the rest of our brain, or at least to our amygdala. We cannot send signals of safety from our cortex to our amygdala. And basically what that means is we can't think ourselves out of anxiety. So it's really cool that we can use our breath via our vagus nerve to send these signals in a different way. And if you're new to utilizing breath work for anxiety and stress, just a friendly reminder that it takes about 15 to 20 minutes of actively sending these signals, of actively practicing these breathwork strategies for there to be a shift in the nervous system. So even though you may still continue to feel jittery, nervous, just anxious in general with that physical discomfort, it does not mean that these practices are not helping. They're just helping beneath the surface. And so in time, you're gonna notice that physical discomfort start to ease up, but in the moment, it might feel like they're not being super helpful. Just know that it takes time. This is just your body switching gears, and you're doing really well. And as I mentioned before, these breathwork strategies are awesome to use in the moment of elevated anxiety, but they're also really beneficial to practice even in times when we aren't super anxious. Practicing any type of calming strategy in times when we're actually feeling calm can be really beneficial for a couple of reasons. The big one, though, is that it helps our body to remember what to do in those moments when anxiety is high. If you've dealt with anxiety and stress for any number of years or months, you might recognize that it's really hard to remember those helpful strategies in the moment. We're just not thinking clearly because our logical brain is kind of offline. This is a practice known as relaxation training, and it is highly effective for calming anxiety long term. I have an entire free guide that helps walk you through this step by step. You can find a link for that down in the description. If you'd like some assistance practicing these breathwork strategies in real time, I have guided practices of most of these breathwork strategies that I talk about on this channel, and I'll leave them here for you guys just for your convenience. Take good care, and I will see you in the next video.